Hey everyone, this is week 15, and so my topic is on rhetoric, its power and influence over people. As simple as it is, rhetoric is genuinely the basic building block of human interaction. It's how we express ourselves, convey sincerity, and even misuse trust. I'd like to dive in on its implications and how it impacts us in our daily lives. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric, simply put, is the ability to effectively communicate one's ideas through persuasive speaking and writing, using language, structure, and style to influence an audience. We're all most likely very familiar with rhetoric. You've most likely seen a TED talk, election speech, classroom debate, or hopefully not necessary, but a court hearing as well. In all these instances, rhetoric is used to display emphatic meanings or just to lay out one's heart before others. How it builds. Rhetoric is powerful as it can shape entire discussions and even the natural progression of national relations in our world. To think so much would be riding To think so much would be riding on how politely we say things as a nation. We can see how powerful language is when dealing with people. George Campbell said rhetoric allows people to see into another person's heart only to the extent that the person speaking allows us to see in accordance with their ability to express themselves articulately. What does that even mean? Simply put, that means rhetoric only shows us half of the equation. We see the output. We don't know what the input, what someone's heart is saying. Its importance. Now, honestly, that just sounds like a whole lot of nothing. So, really, what does this mean? In essence, rhetoric itself is an art, a skill broken down into different parts. One, practical rhetoric, which is how to persuade in general. Two, the science of human nature, which is why persuasion works. And three, the philosophy of rhetoric, the bridge that connects the two. What is particularly fascinating about rhetoric is that it truly is a study on the way humans respond to communicative stimuli. How will someone respond to me making a certain gesture, facial expression, or speaking in a certain tone? Rhetoric is more than simply fancy words and intellect. It is knowing how to move people, shifting their belief. George Campbell says the philosophy of rhetoric is the area of relationships between the perfected art of practical rhetoric on the one hand and the new science of human nature on the other. How it destroys. Rhetoric may be used to craftily engage with someone in a way that moves them for your benefit. If any one of you has read the play Othello, you would understand the importance of being weary of elegantly decorated language and phrasing, cadence and tone and pitch. Humans are much more than a set of rules. The more a person has mastered the art of elegance, the better they can be at the art of being disgusting, foul, and secretly wicked. Emotional intelligence is not a marker of morality. Instead, it is the conduit for either healthy or unhealthy morality. A peer reviewed article released by the National Association for Media Literacy Education's Journal of Media Literacy, my goodness, stated that news reporters, journalists, and analysts may embellish certain pieces of information in order to appear more noble, dignified, or even more simply, correct. McNair argues that such quantitative manipulations are common amongst journalistic media outlets, too. Partial and carefully curated information is used to design a quantitative rhetoric that helps emphasize or exaggerate favorable points without having to lie with words. An example of this is one news reporter, in order to seem hardened by war and to receive more affection from the public, lied and said they were in a helicopter that crashed in Iran when really they were in the helicopter behind the one that crashed. And we've seen this on the news, most likely. A left wing station embellishes, a right wing station omits, a right wing station embellishes, a left wing station omits. It's all to lie without words. They lie with the intentions behind their words. What do we know about lying? It is often not the ridiculous lie that catches people off guard. No, it's the subtle one, the one that's plausible and probably not easily deniable. That's the one that catches audiences' attention. Why? Because humans want to believe people. Oftentimes, it is frowned upon to be cynical, but it is not always wrong. The greatest lies have the most truth. So we'll see that well used rhetoric may bypass a person's critical thinking skills and achieve an emotional response in them, designed to favor the person speaking. And when used effectively, it may even lessen further public discourse because there is a lack of trust brewing in the listeners. Now, as I said, the greatest lies have the most truth. Let's see an example of how powerful subtlety is when moving the heart of a nation. Considering I chose week 15 and the focus was on Hitler, we'll talk about Hitler's art of persuasion. Hitler wasn't just an evil terrorist. There is far more to this man than that. Behind his leadership was a strong grasp of the frailty of the human mind, desperately seeking answers to the unknown. He played upon the weaknesses of human discourse, rhetoric. He embellished and dehumanized, so when he mistreated humans, everyone said, "Where? I don't see humans. I only see Jews." Being able to unite an entire nation against this group of people, he did so through wit and subtlety. 1. He used religious zeal tactics. How did he use religious zeal tactics? He harshly punished anyone who disagreed with him. One thing the Christian church emphasizes is unity. Hitler took this to an entirely different dimension. He made it so that disagreeing with him was practically impossible, and he made it seem like this was the people's choice. Instead, he became the mouth of the people. 2, he created an us versus them mindset. The best way to win authority is to make the people looking up to you feel superior to another group of people and have you to thank. Why? Human beings have always struggled with the healthy desire to fit into a group of people. However, many people take advantage of this longing and use it to ostracize those different from them. It is the idea of because you're not me, you can never be better than me, or because you're not in our group, you can never be a part of us. This inclusion, and by way of its polar opposite, exclusion, breeds a sort of superiority complex, definitely not unlike the one we see with Hitler's claims a superior Aryan race. Number 3, he separated contact between parties. Hitler made it difficult for Jews and Germans to be around one another. Hatred is brewed more intensely in separation. It is easy to spark discord among people who are farther apart. He took advantage of this and used it against the Jews heavily. 4, he established that this was Germany's main issue and all issues stemmed from this. Is there a cheese shortage? Must be the Jews' fault. Are we struggling financially? Blame the Jews. Did your sister die last week? Blame the Jews. By making the Jews the source of everything negative in the Germans' lives, Hitler essentially created a united front wherein all of Germany is motivated to completely destroy this one group of people for the sake of a better world. This also helps keep the Germans' attention in one place, preventing them from getting distracted and eventually losing fervor for Hitler's cause. It's kind of messed up. He treated them like they were incapable of multitasking. He basically said that they were scatterbrained and needed to be focused on one issue at a time. Number 5, He painted the picture of Germany being his loyal and dependable woman. He created an image of himself as being the needed leader, the one Germany should look up to. He was to woo Germany into a new life, and the Jews were just tempting, quote unquote, her, Germany. This image paints him as the leader of a household broken down by Jewish enemies. And these are my sources. All in all, the main point of this was to emphasize how rhetoric is extremely powerful in being able to shape a person's opinion, even when it doesn't seem like you're overtly lying. And that's all.